Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one chief rocker, Uncle Freezy. What's good? Hey, coming through to hang out for a little bit. Not here for a long time, but I guess here for a good time. Is that right? What's good? What's good? Andrew College in the building. I see you, boss. I see you, boss. Man, number one boxing fan in the building. Salute, salute. Salute, Andrew College. Salute to everybody watching on X, everybody watching on YouTube. Hey, I'm gonna try to do the joint by myself today, just because I just have a thought and I want to share it with you. And not that others' opinions don't matter. It's just I just want to put something out there. I want to put a unshared, unblemished, untarnished thought from your main man, the number one chief rocker, Uncle Freezy. This is just my thought on some stuff, right? And so while y'all come in, man, I just want to say salute to everybody. We're probably just gonna hang out for like a few minutes, like a few moments, right? Just want to salute my people on a Sunday, man. It's almost September. Training camp is somewhere between 14 and 20 days, 2 to 3 weeks away. Excited about that. And so want to really chop it up with you guys about what the future looks like. Not the past, but the future. What the future of New York Knicks basketball look like. Right? So if you, Ant W 1130 Entertainment. What's good, man? What's good? What's good? I got Ant says, hopefully it's a whole new playbook, not same old Knicks plays, nor Kings plays either. Wishful thinking. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that part and a few other parts. It's about three set. Well, let me see. I think I jotted some of it down. So it's about 5 separate thoughts, but then there are like sub topics in there that we should discuss, and most of them will not reference Tom Thibodeau and what the Knicks looked like in previous years. Most of them, right? Like legit, this conversation I've been through the Tom Thibodeau car wash. I'm on to Mike Brown, right? Moving on to Mike Brown. Like we've been through the Tom Thibodeau stuff over and over and over and over and over to a point where it's not even fair to the conversation, so to speak. So we'll get into some real stuff. If you're watching this on replay, salute to y'all watching this on replay, right? And if you're here for the very first time, consider subscribing to the channel, hit the like button. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Let me see. Let's see which. I don't like that. I don't like the way that looked either. I'm gonna change this back to this. Go back to my camera. All right, there we are. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And so here is where we will begin. Right? I'm gonna start with this topic here. I'm gonna put it on the screen and then we'll chop it up about it. Right? Let me edit this, put this here, paste, save, and then put it there. All right. So if you guys as fans haven't noticed over the past 2 seasons, the construction of the roster looks less like the traditional previous head coach's likable roster and more like the current or the present iteration of most rosters. the addition of skilled 6'8" guys, the addition of 6'11" athletic guys that can pass and shoot and rebound and defend. Now, they may not do one thing great, but they do a bunch of things good. Example given is Ariel Hukporti. While Ariel Hukporti is raw, right? Like Ariel Hukporti is raw. Let's just because he's playing, let's not assume that he's ready. He's not, right? The addition of Ariel Hukporti to the roster shows you that the front office wants to move into get past the present and move into the future of what we think NBA basketball is going to look like, because we know NBA basketball is a very amorphous, moldable thing that changes in an instant. And if you have guys, HRM is in the building, salute. And if you have players that fit a certain mold, then depending on the direction that the game goes, that player will not either play or he will be a disadvantage to you based on the trends that happen in the NBA. Now, when you have guys that are flexible in terms of role and skill set, regardless what direction the NBA changes or goes in from month to month or year to year, you can keep that same talented person and just ask him to do different stuff. And I'll give an example of a guy that I love that offensively does not change with the times. And that is Mitchell Robinson, right? Y'all know I love Mitch. While I don't like the Mitch hive, right? The Mitchell Robinson hive are my mortal enemies, right? Those are my mortal enemies because they can't tell you directly how they love or why they love Mitch. Right? I love Mitchell Robinson. But in a fast-changing NBA, offensively, when centers may be asked to do different things from month to month to keep up with the trend of the NBA, Mitchell Robinson has shown in the past that he can't do those things. Now, does he have that skill set, and will he be able to show it off with Mike Brown? Who knows? We don't know. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes. We need to see for ourselves, right? We need to see, right? We need to see. But in order to follow the conversation, what I'm saying is this new era the Knicks front office is thrusting us into is putting emphasis on players that can do multiple things, whether it's defend, get out in transition, shoot the three, create off the dribble, create for others, depending on what the NBA asks from these players, depending on like how we play in October is not how we're going to be playing in March. You can bet that. You see it year after year, right? You see the trends go from, sometimes we're scoring 110 points a game and everybody is scoring in that 110 to 108. And then other times during the year, everybody is scoring 140. Okay. These things happen. Andrew College says Denny Avdija led Israel, upsetting France and FIBA. Yabusele had 7 points for France. Oh, wow. Denny Avdija is the classic example of a guy that regardless how the game changes, he can fit into any system. Denny Avdija can fit into any system. Right? Those are the type players that I'm saying. right? That's my point at. One of the things I think the Knicks are probably going to lean into is the emphasis on 3-point shots. The emphasis on 3-pointers, right? While I don't think the Knicks are going to take 50 3-pointers a game, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks have 10 to 12 games where they attempt 53s. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if the Knicks have a game where they attempt 50 plus threes. Don't be surprised if you see a game this year where the Knicks have 2 players that attempt 3+ 3-pointers in the same game. T. Williams, salute. Salute. Yeah, man. Yeah, don't be surprised if there's a game where Karl-Anthony Towns and another designated shooter have at least 10 3-point attempts in a game. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if we see that multiple times during the season. I'm not going to be surprised. Even though I am one, I like the 3-pointer, but I like high field goal percentage. Right? But if the Knicks can find a way to get 39, 40% from 3, don't be surprised if they lean into it. Right? Analytics tells us that a short 3 is better than a long 2 on any night. So don't be surprised if we lean into that. And also don't be surprised about how we create those 3-point looks. Don't be surprised on how we lean into those 3 or how we create those looks, whether it's inside out, pick and roll, some type of split action, some type of whatever it is. However you generate them, depending on the team that you play, look for the Knicks to be creative and leaning into the 3-pointer, because analytics is going to tell us where the best 3-point shot should come from and who should be shooting them, and what those shots do to space the floor and create other easy looks. And if we can do that, that's where the Knicks are going to go, as opposed to one guy at a time leading your offense. Greg Hamilton is in the building. Salute. Yo, what is that? Is that a Cadillac? What kind of car is that? That looks like a 70-something. That looks like a 70-something. I don't know what year that is for sure, but it looks like a 70s model. Is that a Caddy? I think the round headlights make me think is 70s. Is that like a 75, 70, 76? Hamilton, let me know. But I think so. The emphasis, yo, DSJ is in the building. Salute, DSJ. What's good, bro? I think the Knicks front office is leaning into the future. The Knicks front office is leaning into the future. I'm not mad at it either. Yo, Mr. Atkins is in the building. Salute. Rodney, what's good, man? Salute. I'm glad y'all here. Salute to all the members of the channel, man. Appreciate y'all for being here. Salute to everybody that hadn't really made up their mind on being a member yet. So we're gonna try to put out more content more frequently now that September is here. This summertime break is over. T. Williams in the building. One of the pace and space part I know has been a buzzword, and Knicks fans are thinking that maybe we're going to be a fast breaking team. I can see that. What I can also see though is not just spacing up and down the floor or pace up and down the floor, but pace in the half court too. Hard cuts all the time, heavy screens, things of that sort. Yeah, man. Hey, Mr. Atkins, I appreciate that. Man. Y'all are the people that contribute to the channel, man. Y'all are the ones that help this channel go. Like on those times that I don't feel like rocking, I be thinking about y'all, man. Like, you know how it is. You know how, like, it's a dreary day outside, something, maybe you tired, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the non-motivation is, the motivation is getting here and kicking it with my people. Randall is in the building. Salute. Another member. Salute, man. Salute to y'all. Glad y'all here. So the pace and space part, I think the pace and space is not only going to go from rim to rim, but sideline to sideline, like constantly keeping defenses in motion and in jeopardy. One false move will blow your groove defensively, right? Defensively, one false move will blow your groove, right? And so with putting the pressure on defense up and down the floor and sideways, making defenders having to constantly scan the floor, no resting for the defense on defense. That's one of the things that kind of hurt us in previous years. And I promised I wouldn't really get into the previous years thing. DSJ asked, we rocking on Echo and Essence? Yeah. Bro, it's a 3-day weekend. I was thinking about rocking. Yes. The answer to that is yes. Right. I was thinking about doing it like right after this, as a matter of fact, and then coming back on later and rocking into the late night. Right. So, and for those that don't know what Echo and Essence is our second channel where we talk about everything. Where we have conversations about everything. Right. Finances, romances, everything. Movies, music, art, everything. We talk about everything over there, man. But as for this though, I'm gonna try to stay on topic with this because I have a lot of thoughts, right? I have a lot of thoughts bottlenecked in my mind, and I'm gonna try to do them one at a time in order to clear out that bottleneck of thoughts and ideas and content that I want to share with you guys. Because I think I do understand that over the course of a championship level, of a championship contending summer, the summers are gonna be slow because you have less work to do, or less major work to do. Right? We have less major work to do. So the conversation, the summers are going to be slower. It's just a part of it. Right? In terms of the way the roster is built, though, I'm going to put this in a chat. No, you know what? I'm going to put this. Yuri, what's good? I'm going to put this here because I want to get your thoughts on it. So, so the analytical part of it will lean towards players who can guard multiple positions, keep the offense flowing. A premium will be put on wings and stretch bigs rather than traditional back to the basket centers, and because I couldn't fit it here, and traditional point guard play. Bodega, what's good, man? And so when I say this, I'm not saying this at taking a shot at anyone, right? So I'm not taking a shot at anyone when I say this. I say this with the mindset that analytics is not really in favor of one person holding the ball and getting a lot of assists. Analytics is in favor of free-flowing offense where everybody can dribble, pass, and shoot, where you can create mismatches out of thin air just by getting defenders out of position. And listen, I know you guys watch a lot of content, and I don't want to be different to the content creating community. These are just my thoughts. These are just separate thoughts. So if you, whatever you get your content from, man, just keep doing that. Also, I'd love for y'all to be here and whatever. Don't want to drive anybody away. These are just my original thoughts. This is how I feel. Right? I think analytics will lean towards players that can guard multiple positions, whether that's the 1 and 2, the 2, 3, and 4, such as OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges guards 2s, 3s, and 4s. Whether it's a guy like Hakim Dadier that has the potential to guard 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s, or 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. Whether it's Mo D, Muhammad Diawara, whether Mo D can guard 1 through 5s. Yo, Alawaz is in the building. Wiz is in the building. Wiz, man, I hit you up the other day. Wiz, you gotta salute to Wiz Wise from Brooklyn. Salute to the greatest borough God ever created, Brooklyn, New York. All my fans of Brooklyn, stand up. But if it wasn't for the Bronx, y'all already know where I'm going. Salute to the Bronx. Salute to Brooklyn, Staten Island. Salute to everybody on Long Island, Queens. Salute to everybody out there, man. Wherever you from, wherever you at, salute, peace be with y'all, wherever you are. But the roster right now is being morphed into. I appreciate that. Hey, Wiz, I got that 3-month plan with Mint Mobile, right? So if something weird happened, I'm here. I'm old. Not old, but you know what I mean. I'm good. So sometimes I forget, bro. It's just that's all. I'm good. Kerry Cox is in the building, son of the legend, one of the big channel supporters. Hey, Kerry Cox, we love you, bro. Big time supporter of the channel, man. And we big time supporters. I don't know why y'all always do. Y'all be trying to stay focused, man, and y'all put something in the chat. Y'all be all right, yeah, man. Salute to Kerry Cox, man, and everybody, man. So, but what I'm saying is the point that I'm, and y'all, and listen, and if you're watching this for the first time, don't get turned off by me interacting with the chat. It's a live stream. It's what I'm supposed to do. People are in the live stream to come rock with Lawrence Tears. And even though I have these topics stashed away that I want to talk to you guys about, it's just like that TV show Cheers, right? Somebody will come in and you got to tip your cap. Hey, man, glad you're here, right? Or somebody in the bar will say something crazy and you're like, what? So, yeah, man. because one of the reasons why I want to emphasize this is because the conversation had been about around the Knicks content creation space. We always ask for more, right? Like legit, people always, y'all know them, y'all been around them. People always ask for more. Like, yo, I need OG Anunoby to get more rebounds. I need Mikal Bridges to hit more threes. I need Jalen Brunson to get more assists. I need Cat to get more blocks. I need Mitchell Robinson to hit more free throws. I need Josh Hart to take more threes. Y'all notice the word more is always there, right? More. Right? And so what I'm saying is, my opinion is what these guys do to me is good enough. What I'd like to see, though, in a better sense, is better execution at the end of a game. I'm not saying that people are wrong for asking, damn near demanding more from Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson needs more assists. Bridges needs to shoot a higher percentage from three. OG Anunoby needs to get more rebounds. Karl-Anthony Towns needs to get more blocks. Mitchell Robinson needs to hit more free throws. Deuce needs to hit more shots. The bench needs to score more points. Right? The thing is always more. And what I'm telling people, for the most part, it's rare, even with that baseline, what the guys are already doing, that you see the Knicks are getting blown out by 30. It's rare that you see a Knicks team being blown out by 30. It's rare. And so with that, hey, Wiz, I'm talking about, hey, we're going to have that conversation, bro. We're going to have that conversation with, I'm going to star it. I don't know if we'll be able to have that conversation today or tomorrow or whenever, but we're going to have that conversation. But in terms of what I was speaking about, instead of us asking for more and more and more and more and more, how about we do one thing? How about we ask for one thing? How about better offensive and defensive execution down the stretch of games? Can we do that? Can we stop blowing leads at the 6-minute mark? That's to go in the game. Can we stop having our offense stall at the end of games and having to play hero ball down the stretch of games? Better execution down the stretch of games, in my opinion, puts us in a better position to close out games as opposed to Josh Hart trying to knock Kobe White's head off on a three-point attempt because he made a bad play the play before that. And now all the Bulls need is to knock down 3 3-pointers to win the game. That would be nice. How about not have the same plays offensively down the stretch of games, depending on Jalen Brunson to bail us out with 90 seconds left to go in the game? How about that? How about the offensive? And one of the things that I want to highlight, since I'm here talking about this point, is how about at the end of games, we can dominate in the offensive and defensive substitutions late in games where we don't need an offensive player on the floor playing defense. How about if we have a 5-point lead with 34 seconds left to go in a game and one timeout? We could put our best defensive unit out there. We're up by 5. It's 34 seconds left to go in the game. We have a timeout. How about we just put all defenders out there? Take Cat off the floor. Take Yabusele off the floor. Take Clarkson off the floor. Take Brunson off the floor. Right? And go with your best 5 defenders in a switchable defense, whereas teams can't get these shots off late in games to beat us. Autism Speaks is in the building. Salute. You already know how I feel about autism awareness. If we can support, if you can find it somewhere, if you got a resource that you can support, man, support any cause that helps our family members with autism. I know I don't have to say that because I know everybody here knows, but it just helps my heart by at least saying it because I know everybody here already knows. But to the point of the positional flexibility, just imagine a world where the Knicks can go all offense and then all defense based. And I'm talking about late in games. I'm not talking about during games. I'm talking about if we're down by 5 with 70 seconds left to go, we can do an offensive lineup that we know can get us buckets. Right? Up late in the game, say we're up 7 with 2 minutes to go. We can switch in this defensive unit to smother the ball, right? Smother the ball and stop teams from getting shots. And if they do get a shot, it's a bad shot, heavily contested, where we close out and get the rebound. We didn't necessarily have this type of flexibility over the past few years, but on a modern NBA roster where you have positional flexibility over multiple positions, you can cater a lineup to a specific team. If we're playing the Sixers that don't necessarily have 3-point shooters, but have Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jared McCain, and others that can score in a myriad of ways, you could put out a defensive lineup that can adjust to that. Whereas we probably just didn't have that in the past. But this is the future of New York Knicks basketball. One of the things that goes with this point, one of the things that goes with this point, I'm going to put this on the screen also, just to share with you guys. Oh, you know what? I'm going to just create another one. I'm going to just create another. Put it right there. One of the things that analytics creates, and probably in a vacuum, one of the things that analytics creates is the ability to scour the league, including overseas, for analytics-friendly players like Herb Jones. Like Austin Reeves. Like Christian Brown. Like Bruce Brown. right? Analytics creates this thing where the multifaceted analytics player fits into any role, like Austin Reeves, who can be your third guard in a 3-guard lineup, or can play the 2 in your 2-guard lineup, or at times be your primary ball handler. And you get them at an incredible value monetarily because they hadn't proven that they could do all facets of what the league expects, but they thrive in a certain analytics lineup. So while Herb Jones has flaws, like maybe his handle's not as tight as it should be, maybe his on-ball shot creation for himself and others is not there. When you ask him to play defense and be an athletic scorer, he's an A+ at that. That's why he was a 2nd-round pick. That's why Austin Reeves wasn't drafted, because he's not super athletic. He doesn't shoot a high clip from 3. He doesn't do a lot of stuff traditionally, but in an analytics mindset, or in an analytics mindset, he can do the analytic things. He's an analytics darling. He can do certain stuff, which makes a lot of sense. And by being analytics forward, now mind you, we have not been analytics forward. We have a great analytics department, but when it comes to using the information and data, do we really use it? Or did we use it? On August 31st of 2025, I don't want to think about that no more. Yo, Simply the Intellect is in the building. Salute. Simply the Intellect says, "Hi, by them Cowboys." Salute, salute. Salute, man, to Simply the Intellect. Brethren. But in terms of the analytics darling, the thing I'm going to tell you guys, and that maybe we can't wrap our minds around, is, you know what? Maybe the Knicks have an analytics darling on their roster. We just don't know. That person just hadn't been showcased yet. Maybe that player was here last year and we didn't know. We didn't find out what that player could do because the Knicks were chasing a ring last year. The Knicks were chasing a ring last year, and player development took a back burner to the ultimate goal, which I'm for that 100% of the time. If you feel like you're close to winning a championship, go for that championship. So I don't fault the Knicks for that direction. It's just after, not reaching that goal and sacrificing, it puts us in that space where you have to come to grip with the consequences from a decision, an aggressive decision that was made. And we all do that. We all do that at times. We take a very risky gamble we always make the high risk, high reward decision. Sometimes we choose not to. Sometimes we go knee deep into it. But the Knicks may have an analytics darling. The Knicks may have a Bruce Brown or Herb Jones on the roster right now. I honestly think we have the Austin Reeves, Bruce Brown player on the roster right now. I just can't get to that topic yet. I have to save it. I have to save that point. And so we talk about this all the time. We talk about this all the time. The style of play. We talk about the style of play often as Knicks fans, right? Like, how does this make us better? How does this make us worse? Who should improve and who should improve where? Why does that improvement matter? Like, is this improvement sustainable? Is this a next step in this player's evolution? Or was that player just hot? Or did that player just thrive in that one set that we like to run? Style of play will evolve. Every Knicks fan I talk to, when I say the evolution of style of play, the first thing they tell me is pace and space. Chat, is that what you think about when we talk about the evolution of style of play? Y'all let me know. While y'all think about that, I'm gonna keep laughing at the Dallas Cowboys. Next thing you know, the Cowboys are going to be trading Dak Prescott and CD Lamb for like a bag of chips. They got a bag of chips this week for somebody they traded. While we talk about the evolution of style of play, what I want to add is this. Shot profile. Knicks fans will see less mid-range unless you're elite, like Brunson, and more rim attempts and catch and shoot threes. Y'all notice who I didn't mention in this? Yeah, Wiz, this is where Wiz, this is what we're talking about right now. That's the see. This is what we're talking about. The skill set thing. Knicks fans will see less mid-range unless you're elite at it, like Brunson, and more rim attempts and catch and shoot threes. To me, who this impacts the most, if we're being thought forward, right? If we're being analytics forward, thought forward, if we're being progressive, the person that this impacts the most is Mikal Bridges. Kerry Cox is on it. Kerry Cox is, hey man, Kerry Cox, how about you let me run the show? Yo, Kerry Cox is on it. My man. Yo, yeah, the Knicks shot profile, if we're thinking being progressive and being future forward, thought forward, right? If we're being data driven, then what we'll see is less of the short shot, long rebound type shots, right? Like we're taking a 15-footer that creates a long rebound like a 3-pointer would. And if you make it, you get one less point than it would be for a 3. In this world, you would love to just take this and run with it, right? This is our shot choice. Like threes and dunks, threes and layups, right? Unless there is an undeniable shot that you should take. Now, how do you create threes and layups? Ball movement. How do you create ball movement? Keep the ball moving, right? Keep the ball moving. Keep it moving, right? So some nights that means Karl Anthony Towns may have 6, 7, 8 assists And it may mean some nights where Jalen Brunson has 3 or 4 assists. Or no, that's too low. Some nights Jalen Brunson have 5 or 6 assists as opposed to having 11 or 12. Some nights OG Anunoby will have 5, 6, 7 assists. What that creates, though, is instead of having one player being a compiler, right? Like instead of one player being 30 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds, what it'll be is some nights Mikal Bridges will be 16, 6, and 6. OG Anunoby will be 17, 7, and 7. Cat will be 32, 12, and 7. Jalen Brunson to be 41, 5, and 5. But we win. Right? And those things may happen all on the same night. But we win. By keeping that ball movement, defenses have to move their feet because we know the ball moves faster than the man. And when you have these elite NBA defenders moving their feet, ball movement gets them out of place, out of position, which creates driving lanes, which creates open threes. It creates this thing called jeopardy versus gravity. We'll be using our scoring gravity to create jeopardy for these ultra athletic defenders that play smothering defense, and the scheme is built on defending passing lanes. This is what happens when you see less mid-range, more ball movement, attempts at the rim, catch and shoot threes. Bronx Mel is in the building. Happy Sunday, bro. Hey, happy Sunday, boss. I'm gonna shift gears. Oh, you know what? I want to talk about this. I want to give us about 5 minutes to think about this. Right? I want to take about 5 minutes to think about this. And this is just for you guys. Because you are diehard, old school Knicks fans that believe in a certain philosophy. The question to you is, right here, I have lineup data over the eye test, right? But I want to ask you, how do you feel about analytics versus toughness? How do you feel about analytics versus toughness? Because toughness, you can't quantify it, but you know it when you see it, right? Excuse me, y'all. When it comes to analytics, you're like, oh, I'm sorry. When it comes to toughness, you can't quite. We can't always put it into words, but we know how to point it out in a crowd. Hey, that guy's tough right there. That was a tough play. 7 grand was good. How do you feel about analytics versus toughness? Right? Because you can't really describe toughness in a sense, because a lot of times toughness seems like aggression. Right? Toughness seems like aggression, but it's not always broad stroke aggression. Because sometimes we confuse toughness with high motor. Brooklyn Buddha in the building. Salute. Salute, King. I think at times we think toughness And we think toughness, physicality, and high motor are all interchangeable, and they're not. I think we think physicality and toughness are interchangeable, and they're not. In my mind, you can value analytics and physicality. In my mind. In my mind, you can value physicality, high motor, and analytics at the same time. Just how you feel about that. Would you rather be a tough team or an analytical team? And this is just food. This is just food for thought, right? I'm not going anywhere with it. I just want to hear y'all opinion on it. Do you value high motor, physicality, or toughness? Just want to challenge you guys as in a summertime live stream. Just challenge our what we've been thinking about for the last 2 to 3 months. August, July, June. Yeah, just want to challenge our mindset for the last 3 months. Are we really saying how we feel? Or are we in a championship contender malaise, like no real stuff to talk about? So we just talk about anything? Or is it one of those situations where nobody brought it up? All right. So in this last little block, I guess in this last little block, this last 15 minutes or so, I want to talk to you guys about this. Going to add one more thing here. How important is this in winning a championship? How important is this, the fan experience as we win a championship? Do you need to see the Knicks win a championship in a certain type of way? Do you need to see the Knicks win a championship in a certain style in order for you to be content? Say the Knicks win the NBA title, but they look like the early 2000s Sacramento Kings with Chris Webber, Mike Bibby. Say we look like that, but we win a championship. How would you rate or rank that championship? Would you be glad we're the champs, or would you put it behind maybe some finals trips, or like would you put it behind the 1999 Knicks who lost in the finals? Would you put it behind the 1994 Knicks that lost in the finals? And y'all know, y'all, man, listen, y'all go out in public and have these conversations. Y'all go out in public, y'all have these conversations, man. We all have these conversations, right? If the Knicks legit look like the 2002 Sacramento Kings as they win the championship, would you be content? Would your fan experience be satisfied? It's just food for thought. Because a lot of the times when we have these conversations, content creators, we track what you guys say, right? Right? We track what you guys say. Like if you haven't, not keep receipts respectfully, not like, man, I got receipts on you saying, man, I don't care nothing about no receipts. That's a personal thing for me. I personally don't care about receipts because I think people can have moments and people are respectfully have the right to change their mind. If you change your mind, so what? That's my stance on it now. And that's not a global stance. And it may sound like a liberal stance, but I'm saying you can be a fan how you want to be a fan, right? But if you want your Knicks team to win a championship in a classic New York style, by all means, listen, by all means, I'm not rocking the boat. In your fan experience, would you rather see the Knicks win a championship a certain type of way? In my opinion, I don't care how you get here if you can. Basically, that's where I'm at with the championship. That's where Uncle Freezy is with the championship. I don't care how you get here. Just get here. I don't care if we look like Yo 20 Sam in the building. I don't care, bro. I don't care if we look like the 2024 Celtics. I don't care if we look like the 04 Pistons. Just win, baby. What I will say, though, is when the fan base tells you how they want to win a chip, it makes winning a championship that more difficult. Knicks in 26, I'm with you. I'm a fan of both. Now, I'm a fan of the Knicks first and the NBA second, but I'm a fan of basketball first, the Knicks second, and the NBA third. I love basketball, period. On every level, high school, college, pro. I'll even watch the big three because I love basketball. That's just my opinion. And in terms of the fan experience, now if you have a different take on that, then by all means. And I kind of bled 2 points together. I'll put it on the screen, the other point that I had for everybody. It's probably the same point, but I'll put it up here. If we have to shift the culture, the franchise might look less like the rough and tumble Knicks and more like the Nuggets, Celtics, or Rockets. How do you feel about that? And based on what you guys have said in the chat, you just want to win a chip. You just want to win a chip, right? I'm going to put a thing out here, and for the next few moments, I just want to ask y'all this. So what are y'all thoughts on what we talked about? How do y'all feel about the conversation today? What do you want to add to the conversation? How do y'all feel about all the stuff that we talked about over the last 60 minutes? What do you want to add to the conversation for the people that may be looking back on this on replay? What do you want to add? We add philosophy change. What did we talk about? We talked about roster construction, analytics, style of play, and evolution. We talked about the fan experience. We didn't get a chance to talk about front office philosophy, but we'll talk about that at another time. What do y'all want to add to it? Somebody say something. Y'all let me know y'all alive out there, man. Let me know y'all alive on the live stream. All right. All right. Maybe that's it. If that's everything, I'll bid everybody adieu. Thank y'all for coming in through and rocking. Appreciate all the members, contributors, subscribers, people that hit the like button, all of that stuff, man. Thank y'all, man, for coming through. We're gonna get out of here, y'all. Peace, everybody.